I want to welcome each of you to this year's Binghamton University Alumni Association Special Awards Recognition Banquet. I'm glad that you are all here. I'm glad you're all here to celebrate with us some amazing achievements of some of our most amazing graduates who have done so much good to represent you and to represent our university. But to get us started, I first would like to invite to the stage a group of alumni who are their own a cappella group, and they are simply known as the Roses. Please give a rounding rouse of applause for the Roses. Where are my roses? Oh, there they are, okay. Okay, now we're ready. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Roses.
Hi everyone, my name's Callie. These are my friends, Michelle and Marissa. We graduated in the class of 2021 and 2022. We met in a Binghamton a cappella group, so we're excited to be here and we hope you guys enjoy.
In a snow-covered hill, landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tide? Can I handle the season of my life? Ooh. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I build my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Took my love and I took it down. Whoa, climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in a snow-covered hill, till the landslide brought me down. Landslide brought me down. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I build my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Oh, I'm getting older, I'm getting older, I'm getting older too.
Binghamton graduates are so talented. Let's give another round of applause to the Roses. Good evening, everyone, and welcome again. This is our 2024 Special Recognition Award ceremony, and it's wonderful to be in this wonderful facility here in the Big Apple. My name is Matthew Winston, and I'm the Executive Director for Alumni Engagement at Binghamton University, and I'm honored to serve this institution as its Chief Alumni Officer. I am just a few days short of completing year number 2 in this job. Year number 2, which I refer to as my sophomore year, so I'm happy to be here in this community. It's been such a pleasure over this time to meet our alumni, whether it's been on campus or whether it's been here in New York City or places across the country where our graduates live and they work. Our alumni are doing amazing things in their careers and in their communities, and what they accomplish brings great pride to this university. Tonight, we will be celebrating just a few of those accomplishments. I encourage you to read about tonight's honorees in the program booklet. Through their collective efforts, they have impacted thousands upon thousands of people. They educate our kids, they're influencing today's and tomorrow's healthcare, they are constantly inventing or creating, and they give back to our university, a place that has fueled their success in life. What these alumni have accomplished since graduating is awesome, and it's been inspiring, but quite frankly, not surprising. This university owns a treasured legacy of producing individuals whose contributions to their communities and to their professions are meaningful and they are impactful. Binghamton is a university which has nurtured a reputation and even an expectation for contributing to the success of its graduates. And there is not another institution of higher education in this entire state that is more deserving of your time, your talent, your treasure, or your testimony than your alma mater. So whether you graduated from BU, whether you graduated from Harper College, whether you graduated from Triple Cities College, or whether you call yourself a Bearcat or a Colonial, you are part of the one Binghamton University community. We have arrived here because of incredible leadership and support, none more so than from our university president, Harvey Stenger. Thank you for championing our engagement pursuits, Harvey. And I am personally thankful to have such a strong group of professionals on my team who work hard every day, all year long, and they have made tonight's event the success that it is. And you are all served by a tremendous and dedicated cadre of alumni who make up our board of directors, who supports and advises us in our university's engagement efforts. The board is led gleefully by Kara Tridell, class of 2016, who serves as their president. It is my pleasure to turn the microphone over to Kara to share a few words and to serve as your awards ceremony MC. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Kara Tridell.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Hello. And Matthew, thank you so much for the warm welcome. And really thank all of you for being here tonight and being part of this tremendous alumni community. Please, everyone, give yourselves a round of applause for being here. I recognize the Binghamton spirit isn't always the easiest thing to define, but I think you'll know it when you see it, as represented by my Binghamton green shirt, bought for this honor. Tonight, we'll see the specialness of Binghamton in the accomplishments of our honorees. Specifically, tonight, we call upon 14 people to receive awards. Each has an impressive story that honestly would take us past the closing time of our event to go through from start to finish. They all came to Binghamton at different times, from different places, with honestly different dreams of how they wanted to use their education out in the world. But they all have some important attributes in common: hard work, creativity, and a desire to not only continuously improve themselves, but the larger society as a whole. Binghamton people, we get things done. point and point through. And our honorees are great examples of that. But before we get things started, I do have the pleasure of introducing our fearless leader in all things Binghamton, President Harvey Stanger. President Stanger has led the university to an unprecedented growth and expanded our reputation during his more than 12-year tenure. He especially supported students, including myself, as he hired me when I was a wee sophomore in college as one of his first roadmap interns in his office. I am so grateful for that experience, and it's something that I reflect on every day. Please join me in welcoming President Stanger to the stage, and he will provide some remarks.
Thank you, Kara. Thank you, Kara. I appreciate that. I know everybody wants to move along, so let me keep it short. But to recognize Binghamton University's alumni, the people who have taken what they learned as students and applied to make our campus, our nation, our world a better place, is a great honor for me. I've been to these ceremonies for 12 years now. As people know, our mission is to prepare its graduates, period, to be successful. It's up to them to define what success is. Maybe it's in business, maybe it's in government, maybe it's in industry, maybe it's service to others, or maybe it's all of the above. And I think we're going to see those qualities in tonight's honorees, all of whom have gone into the world and done great things after their time at Binghamton. They're leaders in healthcare, business, academia, law, but most importantly, they are engaged citizens. That's the one common denominator of all of our great alumni, engaged citizens that have broad perspectives and understandings that allow them to make their communities better. I think they would be the first to tell you that Binghamton played a significant role in shaping and developing their view of the world. So I thank them for carrying on the long legacy of Binghamton alumni who are truly making a difference. You award winners are inspirational role models for your fellow alumni, our current students, and the entire university community. So on behalf of the entire university community, let me thank and congratulate tonight's award recipients. I'm grateful for all that you do, and I'm thrilled that we have an opportunity to celebrate your accomplishments together. Please let me also mention the amazing work being done by Binghamton's Alumni Association under the Executive Director for Alumni Engagement, Matt Winston. And since we are the top 10 public Ivy, having it at the Yale Club, I guess, is appropriate. Thank you for securing this venue. Events like this are vital to increasing recognition for our work of our most distinguished alumni and help raise the university's reputation and prominence of everything that we do. Kara, back to you.
Oh, no problem. I know, we'll do the trade-off. Okay. Now I get to flip my page. Please bear with me. Okay. So now the fun really begins. We get to hand off some trophies, which is my favorite part. So starting off with our awards and the evening, we will be going with our Bearcats of the last decade, our Bold 10 Under 10 Awards. Bold is our special outreach to our recent graduates of the university. As the name would suggest, Bearcats of the last decade is for alumni who have graduated from Binghamton within the last 10 years. The Alumni Association created the Bold 10 Under 10 Awards, honoring 10 people who graduated in the last 10 years, because we have many recent grads who are quickly making their mark in the world. Honoring just one every year didn't feel like enough. I won't read their full and impressive bios. You could read more about each of these incredible alumni in the program booklet, but I strongly encourage you to do so because we do have some incredible folks. One of these 10 under 10 will receive the Louis B. DeFleur Young Alumni Award. We've kept it a secret for the past few months, and the DeFleur recipient will be revealed in just a few minutes. Okay? All good? So, when we are ready, and when I call your name, please come to the stage, and once everyone is here, we will pause and take a group photo. Okay? Okay. I will also preface that we are giving out the awards in alphabetical order. So please, again, once you hear your name, come stand up. We will all give a round of applause because everyone deserves to be celebrated, and then come up to receive your trophy. Okay. So we have our first 10 under 10 award winner, Gamji Abu Baare, class of 2017 and 2019. Michelle Bernshteyn, class of 2014. Oh, yep, this way. Abigail Goldberg, class of 2022. Justin Hayet, class of 2015, MPA class of 2016. George Lourentzatos, class of 2012, master's class of 2015. Rose Olson, MPA, class of 2020. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Told to slow down. Slow down. Oh. Oh. Okay. They're just taking all the photos. We do it for the gram. Just kidding. Oh, no, you're good. We need all the photos. I mean, like I said, we do it for the gram, we do it for social media. Please blast all of them. We love the publicity. Okay, so continuing, we have Gabriel Osei, class of 2021. Michael Snow, class of 2014.
Congratulations, Michael.
Joshua Yamuter, class of 2017. And then unable to make it tonight, but also one of our bold 10 under 10 recipients is Mohammad Bishawi, class of 2015. Now I feel left out of all these photos. It's okay.
Everybody?
Yeah, let's do a group photo.
Okay.
I'm not staying out of that photo.
I know, it's like, am I allowed to use? Okay, congratulations again to each of these awardees. I'd like to return to your seats, show off these shiny new trophies. to which I would like to give a special shout out to our Bold Leadership Council, who a few years ago helped to design these specific awards, and they are quite beautiful. Cool. Okay, perfect. So, as promised, it's time to reveal the recipient of this year's Louis B. DeFleur Award. Oh, Lois, apologies. Lois B. DeFleur Award. Okay. The Alumni Association has been giving this award since 2011, recognizing alumni who graduated within the last 10 years or are 35 years of age or under, who are established leaders or demonstrate potential for leadership. Former Binghamton University president has generously created a fund to provide an honor. It is no coincidence that the award associated with this prize is $1,946. Evidently because the university was founded in 1946. I am extremely pleased to announce George Lourentzatos is our 2024 DeFleur Award recipient. As he comes to the stage, I just want to share a little bit of his background. He is the Chief of Strategy and Operations at Union Health Center, leveraging his expertise in operational excellence to drive positive change. In addition, he fosters future leaders through his involvement with the university. He offers internship opportunities, mentors students, participates in NYC Connect, is involved with our Metro New York chapter, and guides members of the professional engineering fraternity Theta Tau. George, congratulations so much. Oh, yes.
Kara's a little shorter than I am, but thank you all. I am not prepared for a speech, but honestly, the easy thing in my life is always saying Binghamton University was the best choice I made for a college or university. I've never regretted it. I think whenever I speak to anyone, I'm so proud to say I went to Binghamton University, no matter where they might have went to school, whether it be Yale, Brown, Harvard, or Cornell. I'm always proud to say that I'm a Bearcat. And I truly think Binghamton University provides the best education, best support system, and truly is a university that prepares its students for industry, for life, beyond the classroom, right? I think it's something that really encourages students to make connections and truly live in the moment and be prepared to tackle the world in a lot of ways that some of these other universities don't, right? I think Binghamton University is diverse and really provides the background that is truly needed in the world. I graduated from Watson College or college. I get confused because I know they changed their name, and it gives me a little bit of confusion. But it really was such a great education, and I think I always cherish the memories I made there, the friends I've made, and the colleagues that continue to work with me. I think that's something so unique, is that everywhere I go, I find folks who graduated from Binghamton in various years. We always talk about the experience that we had and the connections that we made from that university. And it's funny because I will literally meet someone randomly through a connection, through a partnership I'm trying to develop, and they'll be like, oh, our CEO went to Binghamton, or this person went to Binghamton, and it's always a connection. It's so great to see how the university has done such a great job in expanding and really being a kind of beacon in New York City and New York itself and throughout the nation. Thank you, guys.
Okay. George, you are a bit taller than me. Had to adjust it down. But congratulations again to you, George. You are a shining example of the type of success to which we brag about our young alumni, including myself, and we look forward to watching you continue to do great things. It is now my pleasure to introduce our next award. The Edward Weisband Award recognizes one Binghamton graduate each year whose life, work, career, and contributions exemplify the highest standards of service and deepest dedication to the sustenance of common good. Professor Weisband taught political science at Binghamton over many, many years, teaching hundreds, if not thousands, of students, and was a SUNY Distinguished Teaching Professor at Binghamton. This year, our Weisband recipient is Barry Nelson, class of 74. Where is Barry? He is an accomplished lawyer in South Florida, focusing his practice on tax, estate planning, family succession planning, asset protection, and probate. He has been listed in Best Lawyers in America for the past 30 years. I know, it's huge, huge. Barry's true impact goes far beyond his legal profession. He and his wife founded the Victory Center for Children with Autism in 1999. The school's mission is to provide children with autism and related disabilities a full year-round, intensive, science-based program with personalized attention. Here to say a few words about Barry are Larry Hollander and Marty Dworkin on behalf of the Tau Alumni Society.
Oh my God. Young freebies, all right. I was going to bring my bar mitzvah platform and put it up here because I still need it. All right, frat night. Here we go. All right, so Borkin and I are pleased to represent our Tau brothers and the Tau Alumni Society, 800 strong, BU's oldest fraternity and largest and most active affinity group, in honoring one of our own, Barry Nelson. For a well-deserved award for public service. Since these type of affairs are just kind of a little too serious for Tau, I am blessed with the opportunity to talk about Barry Nelson, the man. And in the Tau tradition, take a little nibbles here and there. So, Marty gets the serious part, and I get to fulfill a lifetime dream, Nelson. And that's talking about you in public with a microphone in my hand. So here we go. All right. I pledged Tau 50 years ago. Yikes. Nelson was a senior. He's really old. My pledge class's nickname for Nelson was Mr. Personality. It was not a compliment. Personally, couldn't stand him, okay? And I'm sure the feeling was mutual. A year later, after Nelson graduated, I blew my knee out. I was lying in the hospital recovering from surgery, and to my amazement or perhaps hallucination, Nelson comes in, decked out, in his little three-piece accountant suit. Very, very serious guy. I learned two things that night, okay? First, Nelson's visit was an example and lesson to me in the bonds of Tau brotherhood. And when the chips were down, the bros are there. Touche, Nelly. Second, I learned that the Barry Nelson I thought I knew was actually a complete fraud. Really, a fraud. You see, inside of that arrogant, Mr. Grumpy, I'm the coolest jock alive, okay? Inside of that outer shell was a caring, dare I say, sensitive guy with deep feelings about many things that a 23-year-old guy shouldn't be thinking about. The guy was a mush. So instead of me getting desperately needed hugs, I had to hug this clown, okay, kiss him on the forehead, and tell him everything would be okay. Because Can the world ever have enough follically impaired Jewish accountants? Of course not. So, Nelson took his... The truth is the truth. So, Nelson took his show to University of Miami Law School, met and married the prize of Allentown, Pennsylvania, our Judge Judy, Your Honor. And he hung up a law practice shingle in the most riveting, edge-of-your-seat area of the law, trusts and estates. Now, I know this room is loaded with lawyers, but really, I mean, come on. Did you sleep through that class? Well, somebody's got to do it, and it might as well be a guy who otherwise would have made a great funeral home director. So, trust and estate did, however, fit Barry's somewhat quirky personality. Perfectly, by the way. But it often led to awkward situations. So, picture yourself at a Tao picnic. You're in, I don't know, your 30s or so. Everyone's having a ball. Kids are running around. It's a wonderful. And there's Nelson. And he comes up to you with that look. You know how you're trying to hide and be social when you're really serious? And Nelson goes into his shtick, his routine, and it goes something like this. It's like, hey, how you doing? Cute kids. Thanks, Barry. Yeah. Have you made plans for them? You know, just in case. Just in case what, Barry? You know. Barry, spit it out already. What? Well, if you drop dead tomorrow, have you thought about it? Well, Barry, not in the middle of changing my kid, but I got a great idea. I'll call you Tuesday. We'll set a trust fund up for my wife and her second husband, okay? Daddy, you gonna die? No, honey, Uncle Barry's just being silly. All right, so many stories, so little time. Barry and Judy knocked out 4 kids. Their youngest, Jesse, is autistic. Thus began a new journey for Barry and Judy and their family. It is now their legacy. Marty's going to take over. He was president of Tao when I pledged. He was not charming either. But look at that hair. It's perfect.
How do you follow that? Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. I'm Marty Dvorkin, known to most of you out there as Borkin. Like many of you, I'm a close friend of Barry's, and I'm also happen to be co-chairman of the board of directors for the Victory Center. I'm Larry's straight man tonight, and I've been asked to come and clean up after him, because those who know him know you do not give Larry a live microphone, even for 2 or 3 minutes. President Stenger can take a deep breath. Larry was actually on his best behavior tonight. Good job, Larry. So what I would like to do first is congratulate all of tonight's award winners and each of you in the audience for remaining so connected to SUNY Binghamton during your postgraduate lives. I know the university is a special place to all of us, representing good memories and the creation of friendships that last a lifetime. When the Tao brothers heard that Barry was to be the recipient of this year's Weisband Award, we came out in fairly large numbers tonight. And from all over the country. Many of us date back over 50 years with each other, including my most important SUNY B alumna, my wife Terry. None of us, I know she doesn't look that old, none of us should take these very special friendships and relationships for granted. So, let me set the stage for Barry. The Victory Center, School for Autism and Related Disabilities, was founded 23 years ago by Barry and Judy, who are parents of an autistic son, Jesse. After trying public and private schools, the Nelsons found themselves frustrated by the lack of appropriate mainstream educational opportunities for Jess. After much research, they found that the only effective program for Jesse involved a relatively new, unproven protocol back then called Applied Behavior Analysis, ABA. Although the therapy proved to be effective, its required student-teacher ratios were very isolating, with limited opportunity for student interaction, and that's a very difficult learning environment for any child. So realizing that their situation was not unique, Barry and Judy, with the encouragement of professionals from the University of Miami Center for Autism and Related Disabilities, went out and created a nonprofit and opened a small school with just 4 students. Today, the Victory Center has grown to include 5 programs that offer lifespan education and support to students on the autism spectrum who are among the most complex and require the highest level of attention. The school offers early intervention services, primary and secondary level academics, a vocational program, and a new adult program for students that age out of your typical K-12 educational system, a population that today is severely underserved. The Victory Center is also home to one of our most popular and eagerly anticipated daily student offerings, the John and Teresa Munley Athletic Program, generously funded by Tau brother Ken Mew Munley and his wife Jean Marie in honor of Ken's parents. So the Victory Center is currently experiencing its highest enrollment levels ever. We expect to have 38 to 40 students with us beginning in September, and that's a tribute to the quality and the uniquely qualified staff of educators and behavioral specialists that our team has assembled. Over the years, hundreds of educational and behavioral providers have been trained at the Victory Center, many of whom have moved on to other institutions and geographies and continue to make meaningful contributions to the populations they serve. The school, it is beautiful, isn't it? The school recently moved from a small temporary trailer at the rear of the Jewish Community Center's North Miami campus to a 2-story dedicated wing of the JCC's new state-of-the-art facility. Pretty cool, huh? So that's the Victory Center story and the legacy that Barry and Judy Nelson will leave behind. It is my great pleasure to introduce and have my best buddy, Barry, what do you mean I can only have one beer, Nelson, come up to the podium. Thank you.
Short Jewish guys.
All right. Well, first take whatever Larry said with a grain of salt, please. thank you so much to the Alumni Association, for Kim, wherever you are, for starting this whole process. Thank you, Kim. And for my Tau brothers for the nomination. I want to introduce my daughter, Cassie, and her fiance, Brad. Where is Cassie? Cassie, stand up. My best friend from 5th grade, Jerry Hoffman, who came in, his son, and his wife, Barbara, their son also attended to Binghamton. And all my Tau brothers, please stand up. Let's see how strong we are here today. Thank you all for coming. Thank you. I mean, wow. And then Nina from the Victory Center, she's here. Nina, stand up, okay? And Marty, thank you so much for all of your work as co-chair of the Victory Center, and our newest board member, Cassie's fiance, Brad. Thank you. All right. So I arrived at Binghamton, 17 and a half years old, and honestly, I applied to Binghamton because it was the easiest application, it was the cheapest fee, and I didn't have to do an essay. It checked all my boxes. I definitely didn't really qualify for Binghamton. It turns out that the only reason that I came in, I realized like 20 years later, it was the first year of the School of Management, and I applied to that school. So thank you for starting the school, and you know, for not that, I wouldn't be here. I had very limited objectives when I came to school. I wanted to enjoy sports in the intramural program. I wanted to find some great girls. I wanted to drink beer. Well, now I drink liquor, but I drank a lot of beer, and I was 17 and a half. And Ken Munnelly knows that I had to lie, cheat, and steal to get into any bar, but the pub, thank God, allowed 17 and a half year olds to drink. The drinking age, it was 18 at the time. Low on my objectives was academics and my future. But I have to thank the relationships that I made in my freshman year for helping me understand that school is important. And I talked to one of my buddies, Mike Winter, today to say he was he was a good role model for me. Because when me and Marty didn't do that well in business calculus, Mike got like a B or an A, and I said, I don't want to be the dummy of the group. So I tried to do better in school. I told J.J. Van Hoff, the head of the intramural program at the time, that he was my hero at Binghamton. He's not here today. He's in California. He's getting old in age. But he led a program that most of the people in Tau, at least, enjoyed immensely. And it was probably one of the highlights of all of our interests at school. The greatest class I took at Binghamton was rhetoric. I was a CPA. I was going for my CPA, and I couldn't understand why I had to take a course in rhetoric. The same stupidity that I had when I went to high school, and I couldn't understand why I had to take Spanish, and I wound up in Miami. But in my rhetoric class, I got there, and the teacher said every week you have to do these reports and write something. And so I wrote as well as I could. And then for 14 weeks, I had the worst paper. And he took my paper and used it as a guide for what not to do. And so fortunately, I was engaged in that class, and I learned enough for those 14 weeks to make it the most important class that I took at Binghamton. You know, I asked Matt to try to find out who my teacher was, and it turned out I think he was a teaching assistant or a grad student, but he made probably the most important influence on me because now I've learned to write, and my daughter and I just wrote an article for the Florida Bar Journal. We wrote a book together, and my writing has been such an important portion of my livelihood. Okay, so Victory Center is why we were nominated, and if Judy was an alumni at Binghamton, she would be up here with me. Life prior to Jesse. So we have 4 kids. We had 3 typical kids. I didn't meet my wife at college like many of you have, but she would never have been with me at college. She would have run from me at college. And many of my best buddies here know that I was probably the worst boyfriend you could ever have at Binghamton during my years there. And I had to grow up, and I think I grew up. I've been married 42 years. So, but after Judy and I were married for 12 years, we had 3 typical kids, and we got Jesse. And Jesse, after a year or 2, we realized that he wasn't talking, he wasn't meeting his benchmarks, and we got worried, and we brought him in at the time to different doctors, and they said, don't worry, give him another year. And after another year passed, we realized that he had autism. And we took him to one neurologist. He said, he has autism. That's all I could tell you. Good luck. And honestly, it's really a difficult situation, and we didn't know what to do. We needed to find therapies. We had people come to our homes and do we were supposed to do 40 hours a week of ABA therapies to get our son to be able to talk and communicate. And it was impossible. You're paying people $15 an hour, and they really are not vested with you, and it just was not working, and it was a beyond difficult situation. Both my wife and I were at the bottom of our emotional state at that point. And we went out and we started talking to people, and we realized that there was no good situation, there was no good program, and I give credit to Binghamton for a number of things, but one of my things that I give credit to Binghamton for is that we were all, for the most part, the people I knew, we were not the elitists of our years at college. We were normal people. We had parents who were normal people, and we got to learn that the world is tough, and we needed to do well, and we needed to work hard, and we couldn't say no. And we had to find a way to get things to say yes. And so with that education and heartfelt knowledge, my Judy, we decided we're going to do our own thing. And we reached out. I was a lawyer at the time. I sent letters to everyone I did business with, and I got a board of directors. We raised $200,000, and we started the Victory School. And the Victory School provides a loving, safe environment where parents know they can drop their kids off, and we're going to protect their kids. And we do whatever we can to make their kids achieve the highest level of their capability. And we've grown now. Marty said we're now at 40 kids. We started off with 4. We started off with 1 or 2 classrooms. Now we have a new wing, as Marty talked about. We have an 8,500 square foot school. Many of our kids have severe challenges, and the parents can't pay. The teachers couldn't teach during COVID when we had the school going on, and it was doing all right. But during COVID, we couldn't teach. The kids couldn't be coming to school. They had to try to do through different programs. We had to do it through TV or on the internet. It just wasn't working. We had board members that were afraid that we were going to fail financially, and they wound up, because they were worried. I wasn't the chair at the time. They were worried that we were going to go out of business. They fired about 90% of the teachers. And when Judy and I found out about it through Cassie getting a call that they just didn't know what was going on, we had to get involved again. And honestly, the board at the time thought that you could just, we'll wait till COVID is over. In about 3 weeks, it'll be over, and we'll come back and hire everybody back. And when that happened, we had to reach out, and we reached out to a lot of people. And Marty Dvorkin, answered one of the calls, and he was unbelievable, and helped us get PPP money, hire back all the teachers, and then get to a point where we were, again, financially stable. And Marty, I thank you for the bottom of my heart for doing that. And we reached out to our friends at Tau, and so many of you made nice contributions, and the Munnelly family just was astounding in how they have supported us, and we are so thankful for many of you. Some of the people who I reached out to, my big brother and Al Plumser, they sent us checks. It was unbelievable. I haven't talked to him for 20 years. and they sent us a check, and they were the lifeblood of keeping Victory going. And by the way, we are as solid as possible right now. We're doing great. And as I said last night to Joe Bartner, who's just, if you know Joe, he's a man of his own. But he was in plastics, and we needed to have the barriers between the students and the teachers to keep the germs from going, and he sent plastic barriers to us in the time of need. So thank you, Joe, wherever you are. I know I'm probably over my limit, but you know, what the heck, you only get this once in a lifetime. I want you to know a little bit about autism. Autism is a very broad spectrum. You may have friends or family whose kids are doing really well. They can go to college, they're verbal, but they're diagnosed with autism. They have social problems. They're not able to communicate to their friends. They're not able to have long-term relationships like many of our Tao brothers have because they can't relate. I want you to understand that those people are equally as problematic as my son Jesse, who doesn't have the ability to communicate verbally. He can use a Prolo-Quo on his handheld iPhone, but he can't. If you said to him, Jesse, hi, I'm Marty Dvorkin. I'm Marty. The only person he talks to for the most part out of my friends is Terry Dvorkin, his wife, Marty's wife, because he just feels love. And so Jesse is able to communicate through love, but he's not able to communicate in the real, world. I want you to know that the people on the lower end of the spectrum and the people at the higher end of the spectrum have the same difficulties. The gut-wrenching feeling of a parent who's got a high-functioning kid and they can't go out, they can't relate, they can't date. If you watch the TV show on Netflix, Love on the Spectrum, that you will see what they go through. I think that, I want you to just understand that you should be educated and understand and can have compassion to the families that you may know that have autism. Watch Love on the Spectrum on Netflix. You'll get an idea of what the high-functioning kids have to deal with and understand that the low-functioning kids, they can't even communicate verbally, but they give a lot of love. Some of the kids who've gone to Victory they've gone to college, they've gone to law school, they've become firefighters. We're very proud of some of those kids, but a lot of them, like Jesse, are not able to get that far, and they can't become independent. And so Jesse has a caregiver. He lives 4 days a week with a caregiver. He goes to the Victory Center adult program. We have a new adult program. We have 5 kids, and it's feeding other kids who can't do anything after they're finished with the 22-year-olds. We need an adult program for that. But he goes on 15-mile bike rides with me. He loves music. He enjoys music so much. When we go out to a bar and there's music playing and he's bopping around, he gets the cutest girls to come dance with him. I couldn't get that when I was at Binghamton. So he's got some good things going on. Victory makes an enormous difference to the families, and they know that their kids are with us and they're protected. My years at Binghamton and the relationships that I built there have helped me over my lifetime to meet the challenges, whether in my career, Victory, etc. And Judy and I gratefully appreciate this award and the recognition of the Victory Center so we can share, giving us the ability to share with you our autism experience. I hope those of you who have family or friends with an autistic family member, I hope it helps you to understand what they're going through. Please continue to support us as well as Binghamton. We have a virtual golf fundraiser going on right now at the Victory Center website. And we've been told tonight that one of our brothers is going to match whatever gifts that you guys who are my Binghamton alumni, Tao brothers, will give to Tao this week. We're always looking for new board members. You could do it virtually. And like Marty, it's been great. So thank you so much. I'm done. And I'm honored.
Thank you, Barry. A true testament of the incredible alumni that we have as part of our community and such inspirations that they all bring. Okay, perfect. I would like to announce at this time that Barry and Judy Nelson have made a generous gift to support autism research taking place in Binghamton University's Institute for Child Development. So everyone, if we could please give a round of applause for that. This gift is in honor of J.J. Van Hoff, who Barry referenced in his remarks. We are extremely grateful to the Nelson family for their continued engagement with the university and incredible support and inspiration. At this time, we're going to take a quick intermission to allow for meals to be served and enjoyed. We'll resume in a few minutes and keep the celebrations going. The Alumni Achievement Award was introduced in 2015 to recognize a Binghamton graduate who, over the course of a decade or more, has exemplified outstanding, significant professional achievement. This year, we are honored to have 2 co-recipients of this prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award. Our first awardee is Peter Altabef. Peter has served as the chair of the board of the Unify Corporation since 2018 and CEO since 2015. He has also served as president of the company from 2015 to 2020 and from December 2021 to May 2022. Before joining, he was president and CEO of Microsystems, Inc., president and CEO of Perot Systems Corporation, and president of Dell Services. He lives in the Dallas area where he actively gives back to his community. Service has included membership on the boards of the Dallas Symphony Association, Children's Medical Center, Dallas Children's Theater, Dallas Museum of Natural History, and serving on the Technology Committee of the Highland Park Independent School Board. I'd like to call forward our School of Management Dean, Shelley Dion, to say a few words on Peter's behalf.
Welcome, fellow Bearcats and alumni of the new Public Ivy. I'm delighted to introduce you tonight to Peter Altabef, recipient of the 2024 Binghamton University Alumni Achievement Award. Mr. Altabef is a 1980 graduate of Binghamton University and, fun fact, a resident advisor for College in the Woods. From resident advisor to chair and CEO of one of the world's foremost technology solutions companies, what a path. I always tell students, you never know what the person sitting next to you in class will achieve. Or in Peter's case, you never know what the RA who opens your door at 2 a.m. will achieve. Kidding aside, for those of you that don't know, Mr. Altabef serves as chair of the board of directors and CEO of the Unisys Corporation. He has formerly served, as Kara mentioned, in other executive positions, president of Unisys, president and CEO of Microsystems, which was acquired by Oracle, president and CEO of Perot Systems, which was acquired by Dell, and Dell Services, a unit of Dell Inc. Mr. Altabef currently serves or has served on the board of directors and board of advisors of several other companies. Notably, he's a member of the President's National Security Telecommunications Advisory Committee. That is not President Stenger, that is the President, POTUS. So he's also co-chair of a cybersecurity moonshot committee and a trustee of the Committee for Economic Development, the conference board where he serves as co-chair of Technology and Innovation Committee. Mr. Altabef was invited to be the School of Management's 33rd Brilloff Lecture on Ethics, an annual featured lecture, and it was scheduled for fall 2020. Fall 2020 was COVID, and so we had to reluctantly cancel and reschedule Mr. Altabef for fall 2021, which he was happy to oblige. But he went a step further and he told former Dean Upinder Dillon, I'm scheduled for that day anyways, let me come in virtually and spend time with the students. He cleared his calendar, he visited virtually, and the students had a blast. We were honored to host him that fall. He shared his thoughts on cybersecurity, leadership development, and technological advancements. The students were very impressed. He was a member of the President's National Security Advisory Council. Mr. Altabef returned in person in fall of 2021 to give the Brilloff Lecture on ethics and biometrics, ethics of biometrics. He provided students with an evaluative framework that could be applied to systems. 1, is the system fair? 2, does the system affect us beyond what it's intended? 3, will the information collected be safeguarded? And 4, can one learn enough about the system to make a reasoned decision, even if one is not technologically oriented? This framework provided students with a valuable tool for evaluating systems even beyond biometrics. It also led to many interesting discussions in classes, and just a few years later, we're still talking about Mr. Altabef's questions as we apply them to discussing the ethics of generative AI. Mr. Altabef's lectures and visits to the classroom offer important opportunities for students to think beyond their textbooks and exams. He encouraged students to delve deeper into developing technological and analytical skills, while at the same time providing a model of ethical leadership with business acumen, and importantly, a model for service to his profession and his country. Through his interviews on C-SPAN and in trade journals, his writing on the Unisys website or LinkedIn, Mr. Altabef provides an optimistic and practical view of the power of technology, and as important, makes topics such as generative AI and quantum computing accessible. Honestly, go read. It's very easy to understand. Mr. Altabef, we could not be more proud of your achievements. And for that, you are the deserving recipient of the 2024 Binghamton University Alumni Achievement Award.
So I'm just going to speak for a few minutes, but you know, class of 80 means we have good. Class of 80, I'll just speak, I'll project. Class of 80 means we've been around for a while, those of you who are in the class of 80, but it's not too late, I hope. Maybe it is. So I have a question for the Tao brothers. Is it too late to take on somebody from the class of 80 as a member? Is that possible? Yes? Yes. Thank you. So each of the four of us, and I was really struck by Barry's discussion, each of the four of us comes to this evening with a little different perspective. And my perspective is I think that one of the promises of a university like Binghamton is access. And access means different things to different people. I can tell you what it means for our family. So at this table we have 10 Altabefs, which yeah, thank you. Those of you who are wondering, if you ever meet an Altabef in North America, they are related. And so my parents who are here this evening did not have an opportunity, thank you. So they did not have an opportunity to go to a college or to graduate college. But they made sure that their 3 children, all boys, did. And I'm the oldest, but all 3 of us went and graduated from Binghamton University. And that is what access is about. My parents were first-generation Americans. All of their parents were born outside the United States. And one of my brothers, so Ken and Jeffrey met and married his future wife, who is also a Binghamton graduate. So those of you keeping score, of the 10 of us, we have 4 Binghamton graduates. And we're joined tonight by Leslie, Kenny's wife, Jennifer, my wife, my son Will and his wife Veronica. So thank you all. So when I think a little bit about what I got out of Binghamton, I think for many of us, it was a foundational period of time. We had a great education, but I think, as Barry mentioned, we learned more than the value of education. It provided me a foundation, and 4 years after I graduated, when Jennifer and I first met and got married a year after that, that kind of solidified for me what had started at Binghamton. And so I'm very grateful, Dean Dion, for the recollection of some of the things I've done. But none of them would have happened without the foundation I got from my family and from Binghamton and from Jennifer, and almost 39 years we have been married. So as I think about what to take from events of 48 to 44 years ago, the thing I come back to is actually something I learned from my daughter Haley, my son Will, and my daughter-in-law Veronica. Anyone who tells you that you don't learn as much or more from your children than you try to give to them simply isn't listening. That they're not listening. And what I think I learned from Binghamton more than anything else is the ability to listen and to be curious. And when we had the 10 more recent alumni here, what struck me, and you could just see it, is this innate curiosity and this desire to be lifelong learners. So I really hope that you do that, because it's such an exciting part of your life. And the Binghamton University that I knew, and the one that I had an opportunity to be a guest of the School of Management and to visit, is a university that fosters lifelong learning. And to me, that's the best thing that any university can give you. So I want to thank you again, Dean, very much, and everybody else.
Thank you, Peter. I, too, was a CIWRA, so I'm intrigued afterwards to hear what dorm you were an RA in. I will say Onondaga, it's my love. 5AL will always be my home. Our second Alumni Achievement Awardee is Daniel Herschlag. He is a professor of biochemistry at Stanford University's School of Medicine. His lab studies biology through the lens of chemistry, physics, and evolution, and he has made so many contributions, including RNA hypothesis. Herschlag has earned numerous awards, some of which are listed in the program booklet. Among them are his election to the National Academy of Sciences and American Academy of Arts and Sciences, the William Rose Award from the American Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, and the Pfizer Award from the American Chemical Society. He has a remarkable record of mentoring diverse trainees who have flourished in academic research and in a broad range of leadership positions. At this time, I'd like to call forward from Harper College our Dean Cecilia Klin to say a few words on Dan's behalf.
Good evening, everybody. It's a delight to be here. Congratulations to everyone who is being honored tonight. I'm Celia Klin, the Dean of Harper College and a professor in the psychology department, and I am more than delighted to be able to introduce one of the recipients of the 2024 Alumni Achievement Awards, and that's Dr. Daniel Herschlag. Dr. Herschlag is so richly deserving of this recognition, and I'm delighted that I get the opportunity to present it to him. Harper alumni are an amazing group, and some of them just stand out, and I started to do a fall into the hole as I started to read about his work because it was really fascinating. So I can't tell you everything I learned, mostly because I couldn't explain it well, but I understood it well enough to know that he's done some really important things in his life. He earned a bachelor's degree, of course, at Binghamton at Harper College, and I love the Harper College hat, in 1982. and has gone on to an exceptionally distinguished career as an academic leader, a scholar, a scientist, a teacher, and a mentor. Since 1992, he has served as a professor of biochemistry at Stanford University School of Medicine. Dr. Herschlag's research focuses on an understanding of the chemical and physical principles that underlie biological processes through an interdisciplinary research program that spans the field of physics, chemistry, and biology. And I had some more in there, but I realized I didn't understand it well enough to explain it. But he will explain it to you if you ask him to tell you about his work. It's important things that he does. Dan Herschlag has approximately 300 scientific publications to his name, and that is a very large number. These are papers that are frequently cited and have really changed the trajectory of the field. And not surprisingly, given the impact of his work, he travels the world to give invited talks and keynote addresses. Dr. Herschlag has been recognized with some of the most prestigious awards that exist in science, including, and this is worth repeating, in 2018 being inducted into the National Academy of Sciences, which is a very, very big deal. And he is one of only 2 Binghamton alumni to have received this amazing recognition. I'm shushing the people in the peanut gallery back there. In addition to his breathtaking success as a scientist, Daniel is a dedicated teacher and mentor, having served in many roles to support developing scientists. His mentorship includes postdoctoral fellows, PhD students, undergraduate students, and high school students. He has used his success and his voice to lift up others. Many of Daniel Herschlag's students and postdocs have themselves become leaders in the scientific community, including as senior scientists at educational institutions, pharmaceutical companies, and research centers around the world. And from what I understand, influential mentorship was a critical part of his own experience as a Binghamton University undergraduate. Professor E.S. Stevens, who was a Binghamton chemistry professor, served as an early mentor for Dan. In fact, his first scientific publication, we are proud to say, was co-authored in Binghamton in 1983 with Dr. Stevens. Dan Herschlag's brother, Bruce, who is here tonight, and I had the pleasure of sitting next to at dinner. Also a Binghamton alum, as you can tell by all the cheering, had the following to say about Daniel. Recognition of Dan's accomplishment is a recognition of the outstanding undergraduate education offered by Binghamton University. Dan transferred to Binghamton from the University of Michigan, where he was not motivated by his major in math. That's at least what your brother thinks. So, by attending Binghamton University, Dan was able to be around intellectually curious students and a science faculty that took him under their wing. In addition, Binghamton's approach to a liberal arts education provided Dan with the ability to explore other subjects and to become the editor of the Clarendon, pronounced right, a student literary magazine. It is without question that Dan's achievements could not have been accomplished without the support, guidance, and education that we received at Binghamton University, and we certainly hope that that's true. We'd like to be a little part of your success. So thank you, Bruce, for helping us to celebrate your brother and for including Binghamton in the story of success. So please join me in congratulating Dr. Daniel Herschlag as a recipient of the 2024 Binghamton University Achievement Award.
So the first thing that I have to say is that my supporters, while Peter was being introduced, were saying, pardon the French, but the Tau boys are here. How do you stand up to this guy? That's just what he said. Okay, so no, we're going to leave that language behind. The Tau guys, Okay, so anyway, but here it is. George Donnelly, my friend from 7th grade, who was my roommate at Binghamton, insists that he recognized Peter from our intramural football days and that we kicked it out of him, okay? So that's presumably how I got this. Okay, so now, all right. Okay, so I prepared some remarks. Where are they? And I was going to say some witty things, but my best friends and supporters, my brother, who had the grace to nominate me, and even more than that, been my supporter for our entire lives. My wife, who was at Broome Community College when I was at Binghamton, and high school sweetheart. Hashim al-Hashimi, professor at Columbia, who's been my friend for over a decade now and collaborator scientifically, all collaboratively insisted that I'm not funny. Okay. Right. So we've got to go with plan B, which is that apparently multiple people have come up to me and said, I know you do this science stuff. I read these things. I don't understand a bit of it. Okay? So I really feel that it's my obligation and I know because I don't have any PowerPoint here, it's going to take longer than the typical 50 minutes to tell you about my research. Okay, all right. So if you want to know, yeah, we can talk about it. Okay, but what really matters, I think, goes beyond the specifics of the research, and as was said by Dean Klin, it really dates to Harper College and SUNY Binghamton University, however we describe it these days, and an atmosphere of intellectual rigor, of being able to embrace whatever you wanted to do, which included George and I co-editing Clarendon, the campus literary magazine. Maybe it doesn't exist anymore. I hope it does. No, okay, we'll bring it back. Turns out writing's important, but anyway. So all these opportunities, and that's something I think worth pausing on, because that opportunity, which I was able to have because my tuition was $500 a year with a Regent Scholarship, the rent was $100 a month, except for the place that was $50 a month, but there the ceiling fell in, so we moved out of that place. And we could put ourselves through, we could support ourselves independently, jobs painting houses, working as security guards, and leave college with little or no debt to pursue whatever we wanted. So it was a freedom that we had that I know Binghamton is working hard to maintain, that's critical for this coming generation, so that they're not saddled in debt, so that they don't feel that everything they have to do has to be for a bottom line to survive, but rather allows them to explore and figure out how to contribute the most in their lives. Okay. Now, for me, again, the teachers I had at Binghamton, as was said, were more than teachers. They were dedicated to teaching, but they were also dedicated to me and the other students. So they were mentors who literally launched me on the journey, including telling me where to go to work in labs so that I'd have much opportunities, and just wound me up in multiple ways to go off and be successful and explore what I love exploring. I would say, and to save you guys time, I want to tell you what I think is my greatest contribution thus far. I hope this is like a half-lifetime achievement thing, but we'll see. Are, without a doubt, the students and trainees who have come through my lab and I've been able to touch and help along the way. And just to give you a sense, that includes my first graduate student, who is also a member of the National Academy of Sciences, Gina Narlikar, who's at University of California, San Francisco. someone who heads a major agency at NIH, a former student who's at Columbia now, who serves on United Nations commissions to work toward world peace and nuclear disarmament. These are the skills that one gets as a scientist, learning to approach problems from a scientific perspective, finding what one's interested in, and I think that we should all think about how each of us, even if we're just a Tau brother, how each of us can support the next generation, and of course that's a joke, and mentor those and bring them along. And I think that, again, that's what Binghamton has meant for me, and I know it's meant that to a lot of others. So I'd like a round of cheers for Binghamton University. And I'm going to take this with me, thanks.
Okay. Congratulations to you. It's been an honor, Dan, to celebrate both you and Peter for your distinguished work in your fields. Our final signature award for the evening is the Glenn G. Bartle Award, considered the highest honor given by the Alumni Association. This recognizes and honors graduates who have rendered outstanding voluntary service to our university community while also serving their own local communities, careers, and country. This year, our Bartle Award recipient is Lisa Abbott, MBA class of '93. She is the Executive Vice President and Chief Human Resources Officer at Boston's Children's Hospital. Lisa is a transformational leader responsible for all facets of human capital strategy and human resource operations for the enterprise, and are charged with creating a world-class human resources organization. Lisa has a long and impressive history of the engagement with the university, including more than 10 years of service on the Alumni Association Board of Directors, with numerous officer roles, including Secretary, Vice President, and President. Personally speaking, I had the tremendous honor of serving with Lisa as I started out my own journey on the Board of Directors, and she has served as that mentor in my capacity. In addition, she was instrumental in introducing the Alumni Leaders Conference and Alumni Global Days of Service, as well as enhancing our overall awards program. Lisa gives her time, talent, and treasure to the university. Several years ago, she established the Lisa B. Abbott Professional MBA Women's Leadership Scholarship, supporting students demonstrating leadership qualities in and outside of the classroom. Lisa is also somewhat of a warrior in her personal life. You may have read in recent Binghamton magazine about her hike to Mount Everest Base Camp at an elevation of more than 17,000 feet. Additionally, earlier this year, Lisa completed the Boston Marathon, which she ran in support of children's health care. Way more miles than I could ever run, so kudos to her. At this time, I'd really like to give a warm applause to Lisa and congratulate her on this tremendous achievement.
Can Tao keep it down for just a second? Just a second. I get Tao's in the house. I'm good. Thank you, Kara. Thank you. Thank you for the kind remarks and the warm welcome. Where are you, Larry? I wish you were introducing me. You would have made up some fun stories of a life we didn't live together. And you've been at this event forever, so always amazing to see you here. It's actually odd for me to be on this side of the podium. Many of you know that for a number of years, a lot of years, I've been the MC of this event, responsible for keeping us on time. You all failed miserably. Larry, buddy? Yeah, I'd have given you the hook like an hour or two ago. Indeed. I mean, there's like only 100 of you in the house, so that's okay. I'm mindful the only thing standing between you and the after party is me, so I'll keep it brief. I don't know where Harvey went, but I was going to tell him I'm timed at 3.5 minutes. A few months ago, Matt, where are you, Matt? Where did you go? Are you keeping those guys down? Like, where did you go? I don't know where Matt. Oh, you're over there. You're over there. A few months ago, Matt called me, and he said, I need to talk to you. I was like, Jesus, what's the matter? What's the matter? I'm trying to roll off the board. I've been on this board for 12 years. I think he's going to ask me to lead something, say something, do something, right? I'm okay. I'm good. Like, I'll lead, do, say. He says, I need to talk to you. The executive committee has met, and I think, oh my God, Harvey fired him. I'm in HR. Harvey fired him, and he needs some professional advice. Like, oh my God. Fortunately, that's not what he wanted. Thank God. What he did say was that I was the recipient of this prestigious award. Humbled doesn't really describe the feeling. Surprised, shocked, confused. Me? Really? 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 Yes. I'm just me. I'm just me. It's the only thing in the whole world I'm the very best at. It's being me. But it hardly seems worthy of an award. Keeping company with the likes of the Fleischmans, Stu Koenig, Gary Kunis, all of you have been named tonight, who name buildings, solve world problems. I don't know. It's a little overwhelming. It's a lot overwhelming, to be truthful. So I was a graduate student at Binghamton University. Back in the day, we didn't have Division I sports. We didn't have a health sciences campus or an incubator. We didn't have fancy dorms. Most of you Tau guys didn't have fancy dorms either, so I feel good about that. We didn't have Harvey Stanger. My experience was one of a young adult working as an RD in Newing. Kids. Striving to get my graduate degree while having responsibility for 200 barely younger than me adults. Hoping we would make it out alive. We mostly did. Some of you in the audience, my very best friend, Kristen Mulvey, who's at the table now, Kristen Rusev, who many of you knew, Dan Black, who's on the board now. They were part of that Newing community. For better or worse, I, for one, am better. I got a great education, learned a lot of grown-up lessons. We can tell stories about our grown-up lessons. But my real appreciation for Binghamton University would come decades later when I was courted to serve on the Alumni Association Board of Directors. It was a time in my life and my career where I felt like giving back was really important. I didn't really know what that meant, but I knew it was really important. Over the dozen years that I was on the board, as a layperson, an officer, and eventually as the president, I would grow to learn with deep appreciation and admiration for what this institution means to the city of Binghamton, its graduates, and the nation. Under Harvey's leadership, there would be a School of Pharmacy, a health sciences campus, Division I sports teams. Maybe those started under Lois, but I'll give Harvey credit. Fancy dorms, crazy, crazy. And an even Nobel laureate. We would go on to be the premier public Ivy in the country. Go Forbes. We would grow scientists and teachers nurses, engineers, actors, sports commentators, and healthcare administrators. So many more. I got to see that on the board a little bit from the inside. I had the privilege to serve and to lead. Go Kara. I saw Scott. I saw my fellow board members here from times past. Dan, you're up and coming. Can't wait. Serving, serving, serving. I realized that we're all part of something greater than self, making our own small contribution to the greater good. That's what I took away from my campus experience. That's what I took away from my board experience. We're all part of something greater than self, and our ability to have impact and influence is made out of the small things we do each and every day. You do small things each and every day. They matter. They have impact. I accept this award with great humility, and I'm going to go back to what I do best, which is just being me, doing my small part each and every day. Thank you, and thanks for all you do for Binghamton University.
Yes. And let me just say, I take full blame as the MC for going over, so everyone's off the hook, please blame me. Again, can we just have one more giant round of applause for all of our award recipients? What you've done since graduating is incredible and inspiring to hear how much Binghamton means to you. As we wrap up, I do want to recognize just a few more people. First and foremost, if there are any former alumni award winners in any category here tonight, not to put you on the spot, but can you please rise so we could give you a round of applause? In addition, I have the pleasure of working with an incredible group of volunteers who make up my alumni board of directors. Many of them are here tonight, and again, not to put them on the spot, but I would like for them to please stand so we could give them a round of applause. In addition to President Stanger's attendance, we are fortunate to have many other senior administrators from the university here. We have provosts, vice presidents, deans, foundation chiefs, and the athletic director, among just some of them. Please, all of those folks, can you stand so we could thank you as well? And last but certainly not least, I want to especially thank the Alumni Engagement Office for their team and tireless effort, not just for this event, but year-round. They do so much effort and work, and they've done an incredible job to pull off this celebration here at the Yale Club tonight. Please join me in thanking them. And yes, they do need to rise. Okay, and with that, that's all I got. So once again, please, thank you all so much for coming. This has been such an incredible experience and celebration, and go Bearcats!